Hey everyone, it's Don with Don's Field of Dreams Cards. Gonna make a video today that's kind of I love you, man. Uh, I've talked before about going to the National and meeting YouTubers in person. And man, guys, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I've said this so many times, and I'm gonna keep saying it, how many great people are in this community. Three in particular, YouTubers within the last week have sent me some things in the mail. As I like to say, never expected, but always appreciated, no matter what it is. I heard someone say, oh, wouldn't it be funny if you got on here and say, what a piece of crap this is. I hate this. Which I would never do that, no matter what it is, because to me, it's, I usually have a personal relationship with somebody who sent me something. And I just appreciate that someone's even thinking about me enough to go out of their way and send me something that they think I would like. And so again, this weekend, took Mike Moynihan's advice. He did a video, something about don't miss the moment. And Albert Pujols is playing here in Pittsburgh, and I had no intentions on going to see him play, but I was like, you know what, Mike, yeah, that's a very good point. And my partner in crime when it pertains to card shows or games is Scott Randier Studio. He's going to come down from Cleveland, and Dean, I Collect It All, is going to go with us along with my son. So we're going to see Albert Pujols on Sunday. Hit number 700. I doubt it, but that would be pretty cool. So let me share some of the things I got. So the first one was from my buddy Rick, Vintage Oddball Cards, and got to stay with Rick at the National. So he sent me a letter, said, Don, long live the Misfits, Rick. Little Gonzaga piece of paper there. So at the National, my buddy Mark Rudog21 gave me this Stan Musial stamp. And first one I ever had, never seen one in person. And then Rick sent me a care package, and he sent me one that's graded. It's the first time I've seen CSG's new label. And I'm not even going to try pronouncing what that says on the bottom, AJMAN. And at first, I thought they were duplicates, but I was still like, well, one's graded, one's raw. And this one obviously had been mailed at one point, and this one hadn't. But then I didn't realize that one was green, one was blue until I pulled them out for this video. So I don't know if there's other colors or not, but two great guys. And, I'm kind of glad that I'm the only one I know of in our card community that's a PC's Musial. I mean, obviously many of you pick up his cards, but it's nice that people send me stuff for Stan Musial. And then he said, hey, do you have the 1948 Bowman Ralph Kiner rookie? And I said, I do. It's pretty beat up and it's raw. And then I kind of forgot about it. I think he was talking about this right before he went on his first live chat. And so he sent me this. And I called him to thank him. I mean, this came out of nowhere. He didn't even tell me he was going to send me this stuff. And he said, they're not that great. It has a pinhole in it on the Kiner, and it's just a stamp. And first of all, I mean, I would do the same thing. I would downplay it, but he shouldn't, the thought. But I didn't even realize it had a pinhole. You can see it there until Rick mentioned it. But that's a Hall of Fame rookie card that someone sent you, so who cares? So appreciate it, buddy. Rick's just a great guy. So at the National, an unofficial roommate was Eric Four Leaf Cards. He didn't stay with us, but he was there every single day and night. And every time we'd come back from the National, we'd all share what we got. And I've shown this before from the National, but I was showing everyone that I picked this up. And it's on the back porch with Eric, smoking a cigar. And he pulls up an eBay listing, and he goes, look at this one. It was very expensive. I forget what it was, but it included Jackie Robinson, who mainly was the one driving up the price, Musial, Kiner, and there's a fourth, and I'm drawing a blank on who the fourth is right now. But then he pulled up another listing. He goes, oh, here's a Kiner. And I look at it, and I'm like, $40. That's not bad. And then I look closer at the listing, and it said, congratulations, or however eBay says it, you now own this car. And I looked at Eric and I'm like, this says you own it. Did you buy this? And he's like, I did. And it's for you, buddy. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, for no reason, Eric saw me with this and he felt the need to buy me this, which, again, Eric, thank you so much, buddy. So appreciative. You know, you got me. And of course, got a 4-leaf note here, and I'm going to read it. Unfortunately, I accidentally messed it up when I was opening the package. But Don, so awesome to see you again and hang out into the wee hours of the night. Yeah, till 4:30 some of those nights. You know I love stories, and so glad I tricked you into this piece for your PC. Enjoy it, brother. Eric. 4-leaf cards and got the thing. And he did trick me. Totally unexpected. Again, what did I say earlier? Never expected, but always appreciated. So the third gift I got is from a guy that I've only come to know within the last 4 or 5 months, and I don't even know how I came across his channel, but at the time he only had like 15 subs, and I think he's close to 200 now. And I love talking with this guy. I unfortunately missed him at the National. He was only there a day, I think. We've talked on the phone before, and it's like I've known him forever. His format is kind of a podcast type format, but really interesting stuff and great guests. And his name is John Keating, the 70s Card Show. So if you've seen this logo, we're the same age. So we have a lot in common. I love rock music. I love baseball cards. He worked in the rock and roll industry at one time. And I never like to plug anything that I do, but the live chat that I did with John and Ray from Philly, if you grew up in the 80s, especially graduated high school, like the early 80s to mid 80s, we did a live chat last week, and what a blast it was. I just texted those guys, hey, I would love to get together and talk. And we had no idea what we were going to talk about before we got on it. We just shot from the hip. And John didn't even tell us we were live at one point. I think we were like 5 or 10 minutes into it before I realized we were live. But it was so much fun. We were talking about music from the 80s, cards, girls with big hair. Those guys were talking about places in Philadelphia where Ray is a musician as well. As his regular job. You know, I don't believe he plays anymore, but he used to be in a band. He was talking about all these places they played, and it was 2 hours long. Just had a blast. So if you get a chance, check out the 70s Card Show. John does an excellent job. He does a lot of research. He's got that radio voice. Just a great dude. So his note, so he lives in Philly. He's from Philly. So if you look at his papers, it's sort of the Philly colors. He said, Don, was buying some cards for one of my local dealers when I saw this on the shelf. Thought of you immediately and forced him to include it in this deal. Conditionally, it's an SGC1, but that translates into a BCCG9. Enjoy the man. Next year is the Pirates' year, I'm sure. That's what I love about John. I don't come off on my videos this way, but I like sarcastic people. I like ripping on each other in all good fun and just having a good time. And to me, John is like that. And that's just what he's saying here. So I opened this up and I was like, wow, he sent me this awesome Stan Musial bobblehead. And then the closer I looked, little chip here, little chip here. This foot is broken. This leg is cracked. So John was either cleaning out his closet or he went dumpster diving. He thought so much of me to send me this beat up Stan Musial. Now, guys, I'm obviously kidding. It is beat up, but it's so John Keating. And he said he didn't know it was this beat up when he got it thrown in a deal. But for him to think of me and see that and include it, I appreciate it. And I actually think it's funny that it's a little beat up. Just what's the word? I don't know. It's just, it reminds me of John and the guys that are sarcastic and joke around. And so I love it. So that'll go on my, whenever I get this display that I keep talking about. I mentioned it the other day when Mike Canadian Cards sent me that Stan Musial. So My gosh, guys, I appreciate it so much. You guys are way too kind to me. Just love all this stuff. And but more, I love the friendship. And I said this when I got in to the card community, that's what I was looking for. I don't need this stuff, but it makes you feel good when someone thinks about you, especially when you don't know it's coming, and you get home and there's a package from someone on YouTube. So as always, guys, thanks for watching my video, and I'll talk to you soon.